Wednesday, 8 p.m. at Villa Park, Chelsea look to make it through to the 5th round of the FA Cup, where we obviously face in-form Aston Villa in a replay of the match that finished 0-0 at Stamford Bridge. And in this video, I am joined by my good friend and channel fan favourite, Josh Aveste, who is going to help me break down the match. And ultimately, we will be giving our starting 11 picks for the team that we think is best to take on Aston Villa. Josh, we've spoke about this before, mate. Is it a game left now to save Mauricio Pochettino's job, or is that too harsh?
I mean, is there an argument to say that you should just sack this game off, play the kids, and actually focus on the league?
No.
Why not? Why is the FA Cup relevant to us in any way?
Right, let me simplify this for you, mate. Honest answer, can we win the league this season?
No.
No. Could we potentially win the FA Cup this season?
Probably not.
Nah. Fair play. Fair play. Well, in that case, play the kids.
Yeah.
Look forward to seeing David Washington skying chances all night.
Have we got more chance qualifying for Europe through the FA Cup, or have we got more chance of qualifying for Europe through the league?
Do you know what, mate? The way the league is, and with the competitive nature of it at the moment, you see things are shifting and shaping so quickly that actually, I would argue through the league, we've got more chance qualifying for Europe than the FA Cup.
Yeah. So there you go.
Because to do so, to qualify through the FA Cup, inevitably you're going to have to beat one of Liverpool or Man City at some point, I think, unless they face each other. And even then so, you're still going to have to beat one of them teams at some point. And in the league, you could get battered by both of them teams, as we did the other day. But if we can pick up some wins against the lower level opposition, which, there really is no lower level than Chelsea at the minute. But if you can pick up wins against them boys, then I think, we could potentially string something along. Listen, this is the thing of where we are at the moment. We're 11th in the league now?
Yeah.
Right? 4 wins on the bounce take you up to Europa League spots comfortably. You're in them. You know what I mean? Like, for anyone around that mix at the moment, results going your way. But when are we going to win 4 on the bounce?
I was going to say, we've done it once in 2 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And that was against Sheffield United, Luton, and etc., etc.
Let's put a plaster over our wounds for the minute and just fuck Chelsea off for a second. Aston Villa.
Yeah,
good team, and
they are a really good team, and they've progressed in a way. Do you know what's funny? We did some predictions pre-season, and I put them, I think, in 7th or 6th, something like that. I had them relatively high because there was a lot of hype for Villa before the start of the season, wasn't there? And actually, Brian, our mate True Geordie, had them in 3rd or 4th.
That's mad, isn't it?
So he predicted it.
Shout.
He knew they were going to be right up there. So
all
of the hype pre-season.
Quickly, do you know what I predicted? Which I'm looking like it could happen. I didn't predict the Everton points deduction, but I said Luton were going to finish 17th and they were going to stay up on the last day of the season. I think I'm on track to get that prediction right at the minute.
I think that could be right. Is that the only one you got right in your entire 20?
Probably. Yeah. I put Chelsea 4th.
Yeah.
No, I said Man United would have a shit season. I said Man United finish about 6th, 7th. That's on track. Brighton, I said, would drop off. I said Newcastle, yeah. I went, listen, Newcastle could finish 5th, and I think I put them in 5th. But I went, they could also finish as high as 2nd.
You fucked that completely.
It was a bad one, wasn't it? Yeah.
That was a bad
I'm going to do, listen, sorry, we're off-tailing here, but you look like it. You're a good bunch of lads. Should do a video where we sit down and go through our pre-season predictions.
I would love to.
Maybe, do you know what would even do it? A first for this channel, do a video, me, you and Brian, where we all sit down and do it. That'd be good, wouldn't it?
I would love to do that. That'd be brilliant. We should definitely book that in.
Yeah. Right. Aston Villa, good team, good manager, good personnel, goodbye FA Cup. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, it sounds about right, but I hope not. And look, let's not get this twisted. I actually do think the Cups are the only thing that we've really got to play for now.
Play quite well in the Cups.
Yeah, we've played all right. I looked at the run that we had for the Carabao Cup final. It wasn't necessarily the biggest teams in the world, but got there.
When all's said and done, and we finish about 14th in the league this season, don't win anything. Yeah. You're gonna have me there going, "Fuck me, that cup run was good, though, wasn't it?"
Yeah, you enjoyed that real cup run against the big elite teams in the Premier League. No, it would be massive to get through to the FA Cup final for us again, to be at Wembley for a second time this season. That could be the thing that saves Mauricio Pochettino's career at Chelsea. And in fact, actually, we didn't talk about this before about Mauricio Pochettino, but maybe they are just giving him the cup final. Maybe they would just say, let's see how he does in the cup final. If he wins a cup, how could you sack him if he won the Carabao Cup?
You sacked Ancelotti when he won the cup under different ownership.
That's a completely different time, isn't it? Like, again, that would get us into Europe. That would alleviate some of the financial woes. I don't know.
I wouldn't sack him. I wouldn't sack him if he won the cup.
Nah.
He could have us finishing 12th. If he won the cup, I probably wouldn't sack him, No. Because then it's like, well, we're into Europe. Let's see how we go.
Yeah,
so,
100%. And let's give him some tools that he can actually
how many
use.
matches have we got in between that cup final now? We have got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got some more games. Oh my God, that little run of games is scary, man. So we've got Aston Villa now. Crystal Palace away. That's a match we should be winning. I say it about every match. It's a match we should be winning. But then we got City away, Tottenham at home, Liverpool in the final. Bit of a scary run there, isn't it?
Not good, is it? But then you say that, and what were the previous results against City and Spurs? We beat Spurs. I always call it 4-3 against City.
And we beat City 4-4, so...
mate, I call it 4-3. Their last goal was a joke.
Yeah.
That wasn't a penalty. Cucurella.
Yeah.
Disgrace.
Yeah, well, right. I mean, look, I think we're both in agreement here. This is going to be a real tough test.
Yeah.
Let's just crack on straight away with what we want to see from Chelsea. So, apart from the obvious is we'd like to see them fighting for the badge a little bit more. We don't want to see players huffing and puffing, throwing their arms around. We definitely don't want any scandals on social media between fans and players and wives and players and wives and fans and whatever. We just want to see this Chelsea side roll their sleeves up, show a bit of maturity beyond their years and put in a good performance. But what we do want to see, most importantly, are we in agreement here? The formation change.
Yeah, 100%. 5 at the back. Let's go for it. I actually think you and I are going to predict exactly the same team.
Well, let's go with it then. And let's start off with your team today.
Okay, let's go into it. Right, so obviously you got Petrovic in goal.
Mm-hmm.
Sanchez apparently is training now, isn't he? But I don't think he'll be in the squad. He wasn't in the squad.
Bothered.
I'm not bothered at all. And he wasn't in the squad the other day, but we did have 2 other goalkeepers. Can I just have a small point on that? Why are we playing 2 goalkeepers on the bench? David Washington the other day didn't even make the bench against Wolves.
It's ridiculous.
What's going on?
It's ridiculous.
Like, he's never going to play.
It's a catalogue of failures, mate. There's so many players that we're not even looking at like that you don't realise, like, Pochettino is not having a lot of these boys,
It's proper weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Petrovic in goal. The wing backs, so obviously, as I say, we're playing 5 at the back, so let's go for both wing backs first. I've got Gusto on the right and Chilwell on the left. Who else are you going to play?
Yeah, that's it. That's all we can do, really, at this moment in time.
Yeah,
we've let go of Maatsen. We've got no one else in that right-back option. Disasi played all right there when he's played, but I think we're going to go quite similar with this anyway. So let's have your 3 centre-backs.
I've ripped it up, Joey. I've ripped it up. I've dropped a few underperforming players, and I've put a few players that have not been anywhere near the squad in. The first one, Chalobah. Let's bring him back.
Is he fit?
He's back. He's training. He's been training for fucking ages. Let's
Can he
put him
start
straight
straight
back
away?
in. I don't care. Pochettino now shouldn't be giving a fuck about that either. Like, he's got to save his job, so he should be going for everything he possibly can. And it's not like you care too much about Chalobah long term, really. The club don't really give a shit about him.
Well,
anyway.
you say that though. Is Chalobah better than Disasi?
Yes.
Exactly.
But this is the whole thing. Like,
hold on. Is Chalobah better at this moment in time? Not. Chalobah's off the back of an injury, but what we've seen from Chalobah at this moment in time, is he better than Badiashile?
Yes.
Okay. This one could hurt a little bit. At this moment in time, is he better than Colwell?
No, I think that's one too far.
Do you think?
I don't. Do you agree with that then? Do you?
He obviously his resume is better than Colwell's, but
resume is one thing, but like, look how Colwell's perceived in the game. Look how many clubs wanted him. We've even heard rumours a couple of months ago. Liverpool wanted him. Liverpool wanted him recently.
Yeah. I don't think Chalobah's better than Colwell. I'm just asking the question.
No, I don't think
it's a valid question. But so you're going Chalobah straight in there. Are you going Thiago Silva in the middle?
I have to. Like, who else are you going to play there? Again, we need some experience and some cool heads. I know that he hasn't been immense recently, but also, like, he is definitely our best defender by a mile, isn't he?
Yeah.
Don't you agree with that?
Yeah, got to be.
I think he is. So then, interesting you mentioned Colwell. If Colwell's fit, I would put him on the left-hand side.
Right.
I really hope that he is fit and well enough to play, because again, he is our second best centre-back. I do honestly feel that, and he hasn't even been played there. So again, another failure by Pochettino to not do that. But yeah, I think that, do you know what? I feel like every single one of those players that I mentioned, the 5 of the back formation gets the best out of. You have protection for Thiago Silva. You can have Chalobah being that sort of like inside right, sort of like centre back. And we've seen him score goals from that position so many times for Chelsea Football Club. It's brilliant, isn't it? You have Colwell, who can then be the same on the left-hand side, use his forward passing, protect, and they can both use their pace to protect Thiago Silva. And then Chilwell can be the left winger that Pochettino wants him to be, and Gusto can use his forward. Like, mate, seeing some of the things that Gusto's doing, I know he gave away the penalty and overall didn't have the best game in the world, but some of the acceleration and some of the movements that he had down the wing were brilliant. I thought he was really, really good. And I actually think he's one of our better defenders now.
Yeah. I think we'll actually probably see a little bit more. We know what we see from Chilwell in a 5 at the back, but from Gusto in that wing-back position, we might see a little bit more because he looks, when he comes on, when he came on against Liverpool especially, one of our most creative players. And he's one that can have his head held high, Malo Gusto. So maybe, listen, we know what happened when Antonio Conte moved to a 5 at the back with Chelsea. All of a sudden, we went on to win that league. So maybe we could still win this league. Let's have your...
Is it mathematically possible, Joe?
Don't ask me about maths, mate. Let's have your midfield pivot then.
So, obviously, what I'm going for now, I'm joking. I was going to rip it up. It's just the same as usual, mate. Continue with it. I think Enzo and Caicedo, having that back 5 behind them will allow them to be a lot higher up and a lot more mobile. And I think it would get the best out of both of them. You can have Enzo marauding in the way that he wants to when he isn't sort of like downing tools in the double pivot like he's been doing in the 4 at the back formation. And then again, Caicedo has less pressure to make those sort of like killer passes.
Yeah, well, having that third centre-back in there is going to help out massively as well, especially if it was Levi Colwill and he is fit. You look at his passing range, passing ability for a centre-back is pretty phenomenal if you ask me. So if you were to have him in there to sort of push forward at times and support the two of them, it could play trumps for us. So
yeah. So I think that'd be really good. I'm looking forward to seeing those two play in a back 5 formation. I think it will really get the best out of them. And then, mate, we talked about this the other day. The best front three is pretty simple, isn't it? Cole Palmer, probably our best player. Nkunku, on paper, our best player on the other side. And then Jackson, who is the only striker we have at the football club.
And you would play Jackson as a striker and Nkunku...
I would. Do you know what? Like that front three, when you've got 5 at the back, you can be a bit more free with those guys. Like you could easily have Jackson and Nkunku as the front 2 and Cole Palmer in behind them, or you could do what Conte did and he had 2 inside wingers. Up there as well. You could have Nkunku on one side and Palmer on the other with Jackson on top. But yeah, I saw Nkunku playing as a number 9, and he did some brilliant stuff, and he obviously scored that amazing goal against Liverpool. I just think he's better off a wing. Like I would say, Cole Palmer would be better off the wing.
Fair play. Right, I will go with my starting 11.
Do it.
I'm going to go Petrovic in goal. Malo Gusto, right wing back. My 3 centre-backs, I am going with a 5 at the back. My 3 centre-backs, I'm going to start off, obviously, with Axel Disasi. I'm going to go Thiago Silva, and I'm going to go Benoit Badiashile. Now, I would obviously have Levi Colwill in there ahead of him, but I'm not sort of going with the same strategy as yourself in terms of bringing players straight back in, because when I do these starting lineups, yes, they are my starting lineups, but because we're then going to talk about the personnel, I'd like them to hopefully be as close to what I think might happen as well. So, of course, there's certain times when I refuse to put Levi Colwill in the left-back slot in my starting lineup because I wouldn't do that. But
you know it's going to happen.
I know it's going to happen, you know what I mean? So it's a hard one there. But obviously, in my left-back slot, I am going with Ben Chilwell. As we said there, I think we're going to see the best of Malo Gusto and Ben Chilwell when they're able to bomb on a little bit. I think the back 3 sort of sorts itself out there. And the 2 centre-backs should be a little bit more schooled in being able to do that when the full-backs bomb on, because, right back, we've seen Axel Disasi there. Left back, we've seen Levi Colwill there. We've also seen Benoit Badiashile there. So when the 2 wing backs push forward, it's not like they're in unknown territory to be able to spread a little bit wider along that back line. Then, in the pivot, I am going to go in this match for... I think I'm going to go with Conor Gallagher and Moises Caicedo in the pivot. Deep.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to start Enzo in this match. I feel like he can be a bit of a passenger sometimes. Recently, performances have upticked from him. Do I have Conor Gallagher there instead of Enzo? I might twist, actually. Let's go Enzo Caicedo there. Let's go Enzo Caicedo. I'm freestyling with this one, by the way.
I think we've got... I think it's important now we have a little moment about Gallagher. Because I just been so disappointed with him. I saw him playing again yesterday. There were clips going around on Twitter. Every time he gets the ball, it's going backwards. He makes the wrong decision. There are players that are open. He could pass it out. I honestly don't think Gallagher's had a good sort of 5 or 6 games for us. And I think we need to start being very aggressive about talking about whether he should be anywhere near the team. I think he's let us down.
It's concerning, man. He was our shining light at one point this season.
But this is why I'm big on Carney now. I think Carney can do everything that Conor Gallagher does, but he does it slightly better. And I know that's harsh on Connor, but I could understand why they were looking to sell him. I honestly could.
I get it. I am going to go with my forward line here. So I am sticking with Enzo and Caicedo there. I am going to drop Conor Gallagher from this one. Forward line, I am going to go... See, I'm freestyling with this one, but I'll tell you what I'm going to do. This might raise a few eyebrows here. I'm going Cole Palmer. I'm going Nkunku in the 9. Left wing, who do you think I'm going for?
I think you're probably going to say Noni, because I don't think you're going to say Mikhailo.
I'm not going to say anyone who we've even seen on the left wing this season. But it is a man I have seen on the left wing. I'm going Carney Chukwuemeka.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see him more as a sort of a 10.
Yeah. No, he is. But Palmer's more of a 10, and he's making it work out there. So I want to see what Carney Chukwuemeka can do on the other side. And I did see him on the wing. He was brought on as a sub, and he played on the wing in a game that he hit the post against Man City, a game that I was at last season. So he can do it a little bit there. But listen, we're throwing ingredients together and hoping for the best in this match. I think that's fair to say we are doing that. Do you think, with that 5 at the back system, do you have confidence that we see a better performance than we've been seeing with the 4 at the back?
I think tactically, and you look at the spaces that we're going to be able to control and the way that we're going to be able to set up, I am actually a bit more confident with that. Does that confidence mean that I think we're going to win the game? I'm not sure, mate. But I definitely think we will be more solid. And maybe now what you need to do is you need to go, yeah, fuck the beautiful football stuff. Don't care about that anymore. Let's just keep it tight at the back.
We've sort of already done that, mate, and we're losing.
Yeah.
Because for me, I would say when we played Brighton and won 3-2 at the Bridge, I think that was a game you were at as well. It was sort of fuck the beautiful football stuff now anyway from that point onwards. And then we've seen mixed results from them. We've seen losses, draws, wins, but we haven't really seen the beautiful football. And ultimately, we've sort of seen us grind over the line at times against Luton and Palace and teams like that.
But what I'm saying is, you look at all the recent games, they've been very high scoring and both teams have scored. I just want to go maybe back to that sort of Jose way of doing things, or the Conte way of doing things. Don't concede and just try and grind out results that way.
I don't know if Pochettino's got the defensive nous to do that.
I mean, I don't care if he does or whether he doesn't. The coaching staff and Pochettino need to change something. And if you're conceding 4 goals at home to Wolves, something is wrong defensively. And so you've got to change it.
Are you worried that these lot are just going to rip us apart on form at the minute?
I am, absolutely. I think as a Chelsea fan, you can't go into any game now with utmost confidence. I don't think you can. You know, you look at the results that we've even got, like how many goals we conceded against Luton, how many goals we conceded against easier teams, Wolves at home. Like, Wolves are a good team, but they're, the Chelsea of old wouldn't have conceded anywhere near that amount of goals against Wolves, would we?
No, I made this point on the kickoff yesterday. The Chelsea of old would have looked at that Wolves match and they would have understood and been able to identify with the fans and a fan's aspect on it and a fan's outlook on it. And they'd have looked at that Wolves match and they'd have gone, right, the Premier League did almost an unheard of move. They hadn't done it in years and years, and they moved that fixture to Christmas Eve. It meant that there was chaos with transport trying to get there. Chelsea put on coaches for free for some of the fans. But either way, a lot of people, including myself, had already purchased tickets. They moved the date. We couldn't then go. A lot of people couldn't then go, couldn't make that fixture. The ones that did go really, really braved it for a trip up to Molineux where we lost our arsehole and played shit. Yeah. Now, a John Terry, a Frank Lampard, a Didier Drogba, a Ivanovic, any of them guys in the changing rooms around that time, knowing that we've only got to wait 4 weeks and then Wolves take the trip to Stamford Bridge, we get these lot today. We get these lot and we give the guys that travelled and made the journey and lost the earnings to come and see us play, and we put in an awful performance, we give them something to smile about, almost an apology. And I understand that you can't manage things like that and you can't guarantee that you win games, but lack of effort was not what we wanted to see in that game after what had happened on Christmas Eve.
No, 100%. And you've got to rip this up now. You've got to change something so drastically and do something so different that you hope that a miracle happens. And, I don't want to quote, our favourite singer, but I am waiting for a miracle to happen.
Waiting on a miracle.
He got gaslit by Hoyland the other day. He completely blanked him. Did you see that?
What happened? No.
Well, he just went up to Hoyland and tried to say hello to him, and Hoyland didn't look at him.
Really?
Gutting.
I ain't surprised though.
Come on, he's done wonders for Hoyland. He's been the good luck charm for Hoyland. He started scoring goals now, mate.
Mate, if I had that fella like constantly, Joey, like it's just like, oh mate, bless you, like you're a nice bloke, but fuck off. Stop attaching yourself to me.
Mate, he's the only reason why Hoyland has started scoring goals. You got to believe in that miracle. It has come.
Yeah. Can you start doing videos for Mudryk, please? I don't know, mate. I really don't know. I'm a bit scrambled today. Head's a bit all over the place. It's a weird time as a Chelsea fan. We really don't know how to feel, do we?
No, we don't. And do you know what? Like, I feel for our fan base at the moment, we are in different camps and we are a bit scattered because we almost don't know how to deal with this. We don't know how to deal with all of these consistent losses and consistent poor performances. We haven't had that in our lifetimes.
No, we're not used to it in the slightest.
So
it's uncharted territory.
It's chaotic. And do you know what? Even rival fans now, they just know that we're shit and they're not even bantering us anymore because they just know we're awful. And
this sums it up, You went to the match yesterday. Obviously, we're recording this on Monday. And normally, you'd go to a match years gone by and it'd be, so did you see the move for so-and-so's goal? Did you see Hazard's run? Whatever. I went to eat anything nice on the ground?
Yeah.
And you didn't, did you?
No, I didn't. I was rushing to the kickoff.
No.
Couldn't do it. No pies for me.
No good. That is my special. If you ever see me up at Stamford Bridge, don't come over and hand me a beer. I like a chicken balti pie. They do a lovely chicken balti pie. It's one of the only things that has remained from the previous ownership is the chicken balti pie at Stamford Bridge. It's good.
Mate, you're trying to do a weight cut and you're asking for pies. It's not a good idea, is it?
I'm probably going to have to keep away from Chelsea until after this fight in March because I just can't help but drown my sorrows every time I go.
And do you know what? It's a really good excuse, actually, that he's saying that because he actually just doesn't want to go because we've been so shit.
Yeah, that's it. So, we'll see. But one thing I do know is that we are live for the League Cup final on the kickoff. So if you guys are not already following the kickoff, if you're not subscribed, if you're not watching every week, what are you doing? Get a fucking life and start watching, mate. I'll link the kickoff YouTube channel in the description to this video. Another thing I will link in the description to this video is Josh Aveste's YouTube channel. So please do me and yourself a favour by heading over there, clicking on his channel, subscribing to his channel. And also, if you are wondering where these podcasts are brought to you by, brought to you from, I should say, it is Podcast Room in Barnes, Southwest London, where I record this. They have their website linked in the description to this video. So if you click on there, if you want a book, if you want top quality content recorded in a nice little studio with quite nice staff who are quite helpful when they want to be, make sure you visit their website. Tell them Joey sent you. They will sort you out. They are the best in the business. So go there. People, I want to know your thoughts. I want to know your thoughts on our lineups. Do you think we need that formation change or do you think we should stick with what we've got? If it's not broke, don't fix it. We're quite consistent. We're 11th. We finished 11th last season, so it's all good, really. People, let me know your thoughts. I will see you all in the next one.